Hey everybody, Master Bob Smith with Smith Taekwondo and Pro Sport Kickboxing and PMC coming at you with a video today. And this video was on don't be that guy. This is the 10% guy or the bad attitude guy. This is the guy that comes in as soon as class starts. They don't want to interact with anyone. They just want to come in, do their thing for some whatever reason and just feel like they're entitled. This is the guy who only gives 10%. They won't punch or kick correctly, and then when you ask them to improve it, it becomes a question of they don't feel like you wanted them to try hard. This is the guy who always has a bad attitude. They have an injury. I had a guy here that had a back injury, and I told him for 2 months to get a neoprene brace to wear in his back, and the brace would increase the heat and circulation and keep those muscles loose. One day he got mad in here and just started yelling, and he's all talking about wouldn't punch, wouldn't kick, you know, and just wouldn't try anything. And then he tells me, he goes, well, you want me to break my back kicking hard? So I asked him, are you wearing your back brace? At which point he told me no. I said, well, then you have nothing to say. If you guys can't take care of your injuries by yourself and use common sense, you can't blame the people in the environment that you're working in. That's just stupidity. That's dangerous. There's no reason to even try. So don't be the guy that always comes in just as class starts. They feel like they don't have to help, don't want to interact, and then they want to blame everything on you. So no matter what the problem is, you're the reason that they're acting that way or they're doing what they're doing. It's your fault. They don't come to class, but they don't get a test. That's your fault. They got an injury outside. They come in here and don't want to participate other than at their own level. That's your fault. So when you're in the gym, don't be that guy. Be the guy that goes 110%, balls to the walls. Be respectful. So when you go in, make sure that you interact with people, you show your respects to the instructors, the lead instructors, the owners. See if there's something that you can do to help. See if you can do something you can do to maintain your gym or your facility and make it a better place for everyone. Don't try and blame them for whatever shortcomings that you're encountering at the time. Hey, this is Bob Smith. Blood makes you relatable, loyalty makes you family. Until next time, out. Be that guy. The guy who always walks in 5 or 10 minutes late and they just jump on the floor without warming up, stretching out. In some schools, even asking permission to step on the floor. You know, they just come in, they start doing their own thing. They just walk off to one side or the other and start doing advanced techniques even though they haven't warmed up. Maybe they're not ready for advanced techniques, but they look over and they see what the black belts are doing or all the advanced fighters, and they immediately start to copy that without building up a base. These kind of fighters can really get you hurt quickly. They can get themselves injured. They're just setting themselves up for an injury because they haven't prepared, they haven't warmed up, got the muscles, ligaments, tendons warmed up, haven't taken the time to get their entire body loosened up a little bit by moving around, stretching, but yet they want to be able to just stay off on the side while everybody else does their thing, and then they just kind of jump in when they want. A lot of people don't say anything about this, but the reason I started these videos is because students are always coming to me and they're like, hey, how come so-and-so never comes on the floor to stretch out? How come so-and-so doesn't have to jump rope when we do? How come so-and-so always they're not even a black belt. Why are they doing black belt techniques? Things like that. So that's how problems like that start. When you start feeling like that guy. I came in late, so I better just jump in and start doing what everybody's doing or doing more and catching up. Don't worry about catching up. Worry about getting a good stretch, good warm-up, taking your time and being safe and doing it proficiently. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for an injury. Today, that guy is the no gear guy. The guy who always shows up and goes, hey, I forgot my sparring gear, I forgot my gear. Can I spar without gear? That is a really silly question because you are neglecting the priority of safety for yourself and for everyone that you're sparring with. The no gear, the broken gear guy is also the one who comes in and they wear that little cheap sock karate gear because it was cheap and they got it somewhere really cheap. And it isn't the same as Taekwondo gear and kickboxing gear. It isn't as effective and it does not work the same way. Karate gear was meant for point strikes, controlled strikes. It wasn't meant for full power strikes, but yet I see people that want to buy that and parents want to buy that for their kids because it's cheap. It's your child. You want to put the best safety gear on them as possible. I had a dad in here a few years ago that came up and he told me, he goes, "What is the cheapest headgear that you have for my son?" The cheapest headgear for your son. He wanted to put the cheapest thing possible on his son's brain. And when I told him I don't sell cheap headgear, I sell quality headgear, he wanted to buy something that was already used and worn out because he didn't want to spend the cost of $35 to protect his child. Yeah. So when it comes to sparring gear, guys, ask me, ask one of the black belts. You know, another one is I had some guys that came in here because they wanted to get into the tournament environment. The black belts wear an electronic sock that measures on contact, the force of the contact. It's not sparring gear, but they insisted on, oh, I'm going to wear this. I'm not going to wear shin and instep protectors. It's not sparring gear. So I don't know what they thought they were doing, and even though I had pointed it out a couple of times, they made no effort to stop whatsoever. But again, you're putting yourself as well as everyone that you are training with, you're putting their safety at risk. That's a very selfish and inconsiderate thing to do. You don't want to injure somebody or catch an elbow while you're wearing those things. Nobody in here is wearing electronic scoring devices, so you don't need it. And when I pointed that out, the answer was, oh, I just wanted to get used to it. It's a sock. You wear them every day. But, you know, that's how it is. And some people just don't want to listen. They want to insist on being that guy. So don't be that guy, the cheap sparring gear or the no sparring gear, or my sparring gear is broke. I have people that come in all the time and they want to wear a headgear with no chin strap. You can flick it and knock the headgear off. Or they wear shin guards with no instep protector. This is your body that we're talking about, that you need to provide safety for. So get the proper sparring gear, wear it correctly. When the gear is worn out, discard it and get new gear. Your body is your most valuable commodity. Take care of it. This is Bob Smith. Blood makes you related and loyalty makes you family. Until the next time, out.